Yeah. Hey, Brian, we really appreciate that so much. Earth Day is Saturday, but our state is already making big moves when it comes to clean energy and trying to dramatically lower greenhouse gas emissions. This morning, we're hearing it from the very top. Governor Jay Inslee joins us live to talk about all of these issues and more. Governor, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good
I love
morning.
that mountain back of you. It's just been named the #1 climbing mountain in America.
No way. Love to see it. I mean, this is just one of my favorite shots. Ready for her close-up. Looking so good.
We want to keep those glaciers on the mountains, so that's why we're fighting climate change.
And so many Washingtonians feel the same way, so we're glad to get in with it this morning. We're talking about how our state has such an ambitious goal when it comes to lowering greenhouse gas emissions, 95% by 2050. How will the recent Climate Commitment Act help make this happen?
Well, what this bill does is it generates funds to allow Washingtonians to build a clean energy economy. And we are rocking it when it comes to building a clean energy economy. Just give you one example. I was over in Yakima day before yesterday, where we just have approved the siting of a solar panel farm just east of Yakima. It's going to create enough energy to power 30,000 homes. And I got to meet about 100 of new potential electricians learning at the Perry Trade Institute. There's going to have jobs in the electrification of our economy. And this bill, our Climate Commitment Act, will require polluters to pay to help consumers get access to heat pumps, to make sure that we build our transmission system, to build solar panel arrays, to help companies with making investments to build this transportation or to build this new economy. And so I just could not be more thrilled about how it is one piece of our effort to create jobs across the state of Washington, to build our economy, to give consumers new, cleaner options. And I could not be more proud of our state. We're leading the country. You know, we lead the country in so many different ways. We have the most beautiful mountain. We have the most beautiful grandchildren. And we have the most beautiful climate laws to help build our economy. So very, very happy about what we're doing right now.
Beautiful grandchildren and very strong climate laws. Governor, some scientists say that the next 5 to 10 years are critical when it comes to making sweeping major advancements in lowering greenhouse gas emissions. And beyond that, some scientists say then we ought to start focusing on adaptations to impacts from climate change. So I guess my question is our state going far and aggressive enough with these climate initiatives and laws?
Well, as I've said, we're leading the country, but we have to put pedal to the metal to continue, not just with the cap and invest bill that you alluded to, but in the multiple things we're doing to help people have enough charging infrastructure to charge their cars as they continue to get more electric cars, to continue to help these training programs to train apprentices with the electricians and others who are going to help build this new clean energy infrastructure, to have the appropriate way to help the adaptation that we will need to do because the climate is changing. For instance, we've got some coastal communities that really need to move uphill. And that's one of the good things about our Climate Commitment Act is it targets our investments to some of these communities that have been really disproportionately affected by climate. And we've got the most equity embedded in our policies. We need to do all those things as rapidly as humanly possible. But again, I could not be more pleased about what is going on in our state, both building new clean sources of generation, but also giving consumers the ability to get what they need to decarbonize in their lives, including access to heat pumps, the ability, as I've said, to be able to charge your car when you drive somewhere. So we need to do those things as rapidly as possible.
We're making a lot of moves locally and at the state level, but I want to zoom back and talk about how at the federal level, I mean, Republicans have control of the House right now, which could block or discourage climate legislation. And so what plans do you have as a leader to take that on a national front to still affect change in that arena?
Well, the Washington state is a leader. We started a thing called the U.S. Climate Alliance, which now has 23 states. We've banded together to do all we can individually and to push Congress to move ahead. Now, here's some really good news. The Congress, before the last election, just passed the largest investment vehicle to create clean energy jobs in the United States. It's called the Inflation Reduction Act, and that's $360 billion that are available to help consumers get access to these clean products, to help train people, to help build our grid so that we can have clean electricity for our cars and our homes. And that money is now in the process of being invested and distributed. And we want to make sure, I always think things should be fair. Half of that money should come to Washington and half for the rest of the nation. So we're being very aggressive in making sure that we use that federal pool of funds. But I do want to say this, even though we had the best climate laws in 100 years coming out of Washington, D.C., we have to move faster than that in Washington state, and we are. Because if we are going to meet our climate goals, we have to be more aggressive on a more rapid pace, and we are doing that in the state of Washington. That's why I'm proud we have the best, most ambitious, and I think most comprehensive plans to help consumers and businesses thrive in our state. So we're going to find a way to use that money in Washington, and we're going to go faster than Washington, D.C., because this is the real Washington, of course. The Washington, D.C. is just the fake Washington.
Well, hey, we only have a few moments left, but I wanted to ask you a last question or two. We have very strong climate laws, but for people wondering, how much of a dent can we make in combating climate change if there are many other states that aren't taking the same measures?
Well, fortunately, we are not alone. As I've indicated, we have the whole U.S. government now doing things on climate. We have 23 states that are even going faster than the federal government. We have international partners all over the world, and we work with our international partners. I was riding electric ferries in Norway where we can use some of their technology. And now we have a company who just started the first maritime battery company in the Western Hemisphere at Corvus up in Bellingham that we initiated. So we have a lot of alliances that we're working with people across the country and across the world. But here's the fact, no individual person or family or state or nation can solve this single-handedly. That's a reality. But all of us can do what we can do. And all of us can do 100% effort. And that's what I'm happy we're doing.
In a sentence or two, what practical ways can every Washingtonian try to improve our environment and work on this?
Well, you can vote, you get to vote, and that's an important right, and for whoever you choose, but I think this is an important issue. But there's 100 ways. First, you just ask your question. There's 100 good answers to that.
Governor Jay Inslee, thank you so much for taking time to talk about these very important issues.
Thank you. Be well. Happy Earth Day.
We appreciate it. All right, I'll send it